What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the Monday Night Raw review on July 22nd, 2024. And yeah, man, what a episode that Monday Night Raw was. It was very something else. So not, like in a very interesting way. And it's like, and partially the stuff happened like exactly how I predicted it to be, but at the same time, it was a little too early. But yeah, but overall, I thought Monday Night Raw was a pretty great show. Even though, yeah, it was not the perfect show, or yeah, it could have been a little better, but yeah, I don't have nothing to complain about it. Like I just enjoyed watching it like usual. And to start off with Gunther coming out in the ring, this where he, he got on the microphone with the fans were chanting, "You suck, you suck," and this is where then what he said, like, yeah, you are a bum. This is where Pat McAfee even called him. But I was dying with laughter when he said that. I was like, normally, like this guy, he would give him some what's that, high praise to, like, like not all the time, but every so often, like especially when Gunther fought Dominic Mysterio in that match at the beginning of this year. I mean, I don't blame the commentator for rooting for him, because you would rather root for that in general than the dirty weirdo, I guess you could call him. But anyways, this is where we got Gunther was like I did not mean everything what I said about Damian Priest. It's where fans were like, whatever, we do not believe you. You are a horrible man. That's where then Gunther then said, all right, I had enough of this. You're starting to tick me off like AEW wrestlers when they hit that knife edge chop. I hit the knife edge chop, which that I find out a mockery. And I do think Damian Priest is horrible. I actually did meant this well, at first, before he's like, I took some time to reflect on what I said to Damian Priest. Maybe I exaggerated a little bit. He's like, no, you know what? Like, you don't care what I'm saying anyway, even if I was pretending to be like this. So I'm just gonna say it right here. Like, he's a terrible champion. He is a joke. Like, he does not deserve to be world heavyweight champion. And he should have might as well hand me that championship over. And he was like, yeah, but none of that matters now, because I want to call you out right now, Priest. I bring your wannabe main event self out here, and yeah, you know the rules on this point on the list, on the rule book of 14.8. Like once you call out somebody and say their name about 1,000 times, like they're gonna eventually come out there and see what the hell you want, especially if they're in the same arena as you. Even though I say that way too many times on my review videos, just like how Simon does on his ups and downs. But yeah, this is where we got Damian Priest getting right in the ring, brought the World Heavyweight Championship with me. Or before he get that, he started insulting him, saying like he's saying that he fighting for his life in the streets when he was homeless, but that does not cover up the fact that he's making a disgrace into the making the World Heavyweight Championship a disgrace, in the company's history, because I find it very irrelevant, of course. And this is where then we got Priest came out there. It's where he's about to say something, but he's like, oh, what the heck? He did the shrug emoji. He was like what's the point of wasting my breath? And he dropped the microphone right behind him, hit a big right hand on the Gunther's jaw. This is where they started going back and forth all around the ring, like if it was a twister in there, like spinning around, like everywhere, like unaimed, and this is where they eventually got Gunther out of the ring, and this is where one of the security guards started calming him down. But Damian Priest grabbed him around his neck, hit I'll say like a West of Heavens choke slam, right onto him, and send him right into the rest of the security guards, wreaking havoc. And this is where Gunther went up and then started throwing fists right back at each other, looking like when it was the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar back in 2015. It was exactly like it. Like it even went to the backstage area until we got them to split up and went their separate ways, but that was only for temporarily, for a good 2 seconds, I guess you could say, because Jackie Redmond tried to interview Damian Priest on what just transpired, but still, they were still fighting backstage. This is where we got Gunther then threw him right to the equipment box, trying to break his eyes out. But this is where Damian Priest then sent him right into I'll say right into what's that, like into an outside wall. Like this is where the Adam Pierce, and then we got the rest of the producers like. But you got Damian Priest also threw him right to his equipment box right in the outside face first. This is where Adam Pierce tried to break it up. Like, all right, that's enough. Like, yeah, I don't need to do it anymore. And this is where he escorted them both out of the ring, and I mean out of the arena, I should say, escorted them out of the arena, and they we sent them right back home, and then they don't need to. They don't need to stay here for long, like, because if they do, then might get more worse than it is, or has already is, and maybe even more worse than what CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is getting themselves into, like with them. This is more bigger than Drew McIntyre and CM Punk's beef, and I guess WWE wants to do that and want us to pay attention on the side. Like, this is just an important match more than the McIntyre versus Punk match, even though that's the second biggest match on Monday Night Raw, if not the third. Like, considering we got, I don't think that's the second biggest. The second, I'll say maybe number one. But we also got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. We got three big deal-like storylines that deserves the spot in SummerSlam, which they did a very good job building to that, which I'm going to get to the rest of the angles in just a moment. But we're going to start off with Braun Breaker taking on Ilya Dragunov. It was really good. Like, it's like if they were fighting for a championship, if you ask me, even though I say that a bit too often, but at the same time, I'm being serious, because it looked like either Braun Breaker or Ilya Dragunov was the Intercontinental Champion, like in the way they were fighting. But yeah, this was nostalgically interesting. I would say I'll give this maybe the second place spot. Like, maybe this is a controversial move, but yeah, this is like one of the couple matches that was really entertaining. Like, even though the other matches were somewhat intriguing, but not as like this, the opener and the main event, which the main event definitely gets number one in first place. But this is where we got Braun Breaker start punishing the Mad Dragon right into the ringside area, hit him face first right on the hardest part of the ring apron, threw him right back in the ring. This is where we try to get back in the ring, but this is where we got Ilya Dragunov. Then went right up and hit a knee strike right into his face. This is where we got Ilya Dragunov and start shooting like, yeah, like you woken up the provoked dragon, like, or something like that. You provoked the Mad Dragon, and you have upsetted him. This is where he started hitting knife edge chops, not giving a damn about Gunther says. But even though they're both in the same roster, but luckily you don't have to worry about him tonight because he got escorted out by Adam Pierce. This is where he threw him right to the upper right, the left side of the breaker. This is where to the turnbuckle. This is where he started hitting some chops and some punches until Braun Breaker started fighting back, started hitting punches of his own. This is where he hits a right hand to the left jaw. This is where we got Ilya Dragunov bounce right into there, hit a big boot right into Braun Breaker's face, send him right into the left side. This is where Ilya Dragunov's like, yeah, that's how we roll. And this is where he screams that out. This is where we got Ilya then went right into the outside, right onto the apron. This is where then he start elbowing the back of the neck and a knife edge chop right onto Breaker. But Breaker start hitting right hands right back at him and then right into the head. This is where he hits a elbow strike right into the head. This is where he kicks Dragunov right into the gut. This is where then he picks him up. This is where it looked like he was about to hit some kind of a fireman's carry maneuver, and it was indeed my finishing maneuver. And this was very painful when he picked him up. At first, Braun Breaker tried to get out of it, but somehow with all his strength, but Braun Breaker nearly sent him right into the right over. It's where he nearly sent him in the bottom left side ring post, but this is where we got Ilya Dragunov flipping right over, right onto the right side. But this is where they start hitting some strikes on one another. This is where Braun Breaker, and then but this is where we got Ilya Dragunov then try to go for a suplex. This is where he tried to lift him up, but this is where then we got this is where then Braun Breaker then lift him up. This is where he hit the midsection first, right off the top of the ring post. And I was like, dang. And then I was grabbing onto my own midsection because I was thinking to myself, I wonder how that feels. Like, yeah, probably not good. And then I was thinking to myself, like, maybe I should reconsider being a pro wrestler because, yeah, this looks very extremely dangerous. Like, no matter what, whether if it's scripted or not, like, which it obviously is scripted, but when it comes to hitting that hitting maneuvers like that, that's nothing fake. But that's where we got what's his name? Michael Cole was like, "What a freaking sicko!" And then this is where I was thinking the same thing. I was like, even though I like the way he wrestles, like I see what Plon is talking about. He really is the next Brock Lesnar in WWE. Even though we've been talking about Braun Breaker when he was on NXT, even in the team with Baron Corbin, he looked like a very intimidating beast in the business. But anyway, this is where we got him back in the ring. This is where Braun Breaker's back in control. This is where he looked like about to go for a power bomb, but this is where we got Ilya Dragunov flip right out of it into a DDT right into the middle of the canvas. This is where then we got Ilya Dragunov ducks out of a clothesline once he got back up. And this is where then he swings right into the right side rope, rebounding himself. Looked like he's about to hit the 619. This is where he hit the discus clothesline right onto Braun Breaker. This is where then we got Ilya Dragunov start nodding his head like, yes, I'm back. I'm on fire right now. That's where he was. And then this is where the female referee's like, all right, you guys still up? He's like, oh, she was like, okay, just checking. This is where he had the big knife edge chop right on the Braun Breaker right into the upper left side. This is where he hits another knife edge right onto the upper right. This is where then and he yeah, and then this is where then he hits a big forearm right into this, it was the knee strike actually. This is where then he hits a big boot when Braun Breaker was in the bottom corner turnbuckle on the upper right side. This is where you start grabbing on his rib like, I'm still in unforgiving pain. This is where he picks up Braun Breaker. This is where he puts him right between his legs. This is where he try to go for a power bomb, but his back was keep giving out on him. Every time he try to lift him up at least by an inch, even by an inch, let me afraid. But this is where Braun Breaker was like about to hit the grill press slam when he grabbed him around his neck like he's about to choke slam him, and gave him a little scream or shriek. I don't know exactly how to put it, but all I know is that he did it to the Ilya Dragunov. He was like, like now you have really made me angry. This is where Ilya Dragunov just slapped him like if he was just a 8-year-old child. This is where then Ilya Dragunov then grabbed onto Braun Breaker, put him right between his legs, power bombed him, and then he landed right on his body. Looked like he was about to hit the H bomb, but he did not. At least not trying to at this time. But this is where he tried to go for me. But Breaker got the left shoulder up at the last second, up 2.999999999. WWF Mind 0.1 away from me, and they did it so well, even though we all knew that Braun Breaker was gonna win this, but at the same time, like it still made it convincing. Like it could have been anything. Like at this point, like this is where fans start chanting, "This is awesome!" And I was thinking to myself, like, "Yeah, this is indeed is awesome." I was like, if whatever match in the main event's not gonna be number one in the first number one spot, like I think this is gonna be the number one best match of the night. Well, I would say exactly that was the case because I already told you that the main event gets the first place spot while the opener gets second, and I know I mostly do that like at least 9 times out of 10, but it's because like normally wrestling promotions like WWE and AEW always have the second place best match of the night being on the opener, while the first and they do the best match of the night on the main event, which they're supposed to do in wrestling. But this is where we got Braun Breaker then try to go for this is where he gets pushed right off the top rope. This is where Braun Breaker then hits a Frankensteiner, and then I was like, yeah, that's a good ring to it. I mean, I think the Steiner brothers did and practically invented the Frankensteiner, because obviously their last name is Steiner. So that's why they say it like that. Like they did a slow motion on Franken, and then they put Steiner afterwards, which that makes sense. But this is where we got Braun Breaker try to go for a pin, but this is where he kicked out the last second, like Braun Breaker did when Ilya Dragunov hit that rebound clothesline. A power bomb actually. This is where we got Braun Breaker right up on the top rope. This is where then you're like about to hit a avalanche suplex, but this is where Braun Breaker counter out of it. This is where we got. This is where you try to go for a suplex. This is where Ilya Dragunov then hit him with an H-bomb on top of that. This is where, if I didn't know better, I was like, Ilya was definitely going to win this. But even though Braun Breaker looked very dominant, but this is where we got Ilya Dragunov then grab onto Braun Breaker, put him on the shoulders. He got a guaranteed of a Death Valley driver, which I'll call the Assassin Valley driver, and it is indeed the most dominating move in all of professional wrestling. And then my mouth was dropped like, oh my god, like more bigger than somebody in the other company did when a wrestler did that on a random episode of the show that's on the middle of the week in pro wrestling, which I don't understand why I keep doing these references for. But anyways, yeah, I was shocked like when they saw it when they were sitting with commentary. That's how I was doing it. Like when Ilya Dragunov did it right here. This is where we got Ilya Dragunov then was like, I'm not quite done yet, like because. And this is where, Pat McAfee did point out that the ring apron is indeed the hardest part of the ring, and he agrees with Simon Miller. And this is where the fans are like, this is awesome. And then this is where we got this is where Pat McAfee totally agrees. Like, yeah, this match was completely awesome, and I was thinking the same that I couldn't agree with more. This is the best programming in WWE right now in the mid card division, and I was like, yeah, like. Triple H did not know how to book like the likes of MVP and Bobby Lashley, which that's a good reason why they're making an exit. And I'm not saying that it's because of their, I'll say not fully entirely because of their ethnicities entirely, but maybe there could be some capacity about it. But I don't know. Like I'm not saying that that Triple H is is something that he's not. But yeah, you can't help but know like with MVP confirming what a fan said about not giving that much opportunities to certain cultures, if you know what I mean. But I was like, but that's another story for a different day. But yeah, I thought I might just bring that up, even though I'm not trying to bring up the negatives. But I was like, maybe it's best for them to just leave and then go to a company that will book them extraordinarily, if I should say. Let me rephrase that. But yeah, this is where we got Ilya Dragunov then try to go for an H-bomb one more time. But the opposite of him doing the Death Valley driver right off the hardest part of the ring, like it was a complete out because he already hit the H-bomb onto Braun Breaker, and he knew he got the win right with this maneuver. But yeah, like you know the rules. Like if you try to hit it the first time, it won't work the second time. This is where it was not a guarantee, but Braun Breaker's spear sure was, and it guaranteed him got a win without him getting the 1, 2, 3 because he is the WWE Wardlow. This is where the referee, the female referee's like, "Are you okay? Can you do the matches where fans are booing the sugar honey iced tea out of him?" This is where he's like, this is where the referee's like, Ilya's done for, and then this is where they announce Braun Breaker is the winner of this match after the paramedics check that he cannot compete, can no longer continue to compete, and then they declare Braun Breaker by a knockout, I guess you could say, Braun. Right, now your winner of this match, Braun Breaker. I want to give a big congratulations, and he's been killing it from Monday Night Raw. And the only match that he lost since being on the main roster was against Sami Zayn back at Money in the Bank, which that could be understandable. Like, and they want him to win in a bigger stage and make it more special, like if it's WrestleMania, which I can totally understand why they're doing this. And then I totally understand why they did this, what they did tonight, in order to one, like first reason is because they want to protect both of these men, and then maybe like if they lost by a pinfall, it would have they would lose some credibility in a way. Like so, yeah, I don't really mind it. Like it makes sense. It's you would want something to happen because you would want none of these guys to lose by pinfall more often. Like unless it's like a special occasion. So, yeah, it was probably a smart move to have Ilya Dragunov being written out of the show for a little bit until, like, he comes back and try to get some revenge on Braun Breaker. Like whenever he gets some revenge. But that's where Braun Breaker was like, you know what, forget it. Like, I'm just going to focus on Sammy now, which I see what WWE's doing, and they're showing that, the rumors are true about this triple threat match is not going to be happening. It's going to be much more of it's going to be, it's going to be a one-on-one singles rematch from Money in the Bank. And do you think Braun Breaker has a chance? Like, and with him showing this, like, that he can do the same to the current IC champion once once they go square off once again for the second time, at this time at the biggest party of the summer, which Simon loves calling the Hot WrestleMania. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below about that. I think it's going to be Braun Breaker's time, but I'm going to talk probably more about that once it's the Go Home Show SmackDown. But yeah, let's move on to the next slide, which we got Rhea Ripley then start asking questions to the Judgment Day, and continuing to tease more of a babyface turn, and even taking Jey Uso's side. But let's get it. And then this is where she also talked about saying, like, Damian Priest is not going to be here for the rest of the night because he's been escorted out and sent home by Adam Pearce, because he got into it with Gunther, and then I don't think it'll be it wouldn't be right if they stayed in the building. But this is where we got and this where then she said, but the one thing I'm very proud of you as of late, that y'all captured the tag team world tag champion. I don't care who was the reason why they that y'all got the tag title. But what I'm gonna get back is my women's world championship. And then it's and then every single member of the Judgment Day held a goal on here on Raw. I'll say, well, except for the Intercontinental Championship, regardless of who's going to win between Breaker and Sammy. But that's a different story for a different video for a different day. But this is where we got Dirty Dominic say, hey, Rhea, I like to talk to you. It's like you said, I have something that I have a confession to make. And like you said, I'm yours and I always will be yours. But I have this to say to you about, I'm just a little worried about. I'm worried about what Jey Uso's been doing with you. Jey asking you for your number, and then you're like, yeet, and then just give him the phone number. And I was like, man, I just totally like the new era because they put some realism in the storyline, with them using social media for that advantage. But this is where Rhea Ripley started cracking up, saying "Oh, Dom, you silly boy! I'm just messing around. I'm just He's yeah, you don't have to worry about me because I'm not really taking anything serious. Unlike with you and Liv Morgan, I could say a lot about you, and this is where." And this is where then Dirty Dominic's like, oh, brother, you have to bring up Liv. I had nightmares about her from the last week. And this is where Finn Balor's like, hey, Dom, you know what you need to do? And then he's like, you know what? Actually, you know what we all should be doing? We need to take care of Jey Uso, right now. And this is where he starts staring and mugging. What's her name? Rhea Ripley. I was like, uh-oh. Don't tell me this is a teaser right here, because why would he do that? If there's nothing teasing here, of them kicking out a couple of members of the group, that they don't think that deserve to stay to be in the group no more, and they're not like them, and then yeah, and then they're gonna probably add one particular member of the Judgment Day in, and then this word, then Rhea Ripley's like, Jey Uso, what the hell are you talking about, Finn? That don't even matter. And she was like, and this where Finn, and then this where Finn Balor's like, you actually defended Jey Uso, so why I should trust you? And this would be he's like, what are you talking about? I'm not defending him. I'm just thinking it's very unnecessary to go to war with him. If it's if you don't even need to go to war with him. If he's not entering the Judgment Day business. And then this is where then she was like, oh geez, what y'all do not get? And this is where she walked out of the club. This is where Finn Balor This is where Finn Balor then gave Dominic Mysterio that look that we all know what that means, because he's like, you know what you need to do. This is where then JD McDonough to start doing some fist in his hands, saying we need to beat up Jey Uso, but really saying you need to put your foot down and then tell Rhea that who you really want to be with, and it's not her. But we're gonna figure that out probably in the next 12 days, on the road to SummerSlam. I mean, not on the road, but at the pay-per-view premium live event itself. But let me know in the comments below what your reaction was to this. This is where we got Adam Pearce in the backstage hallway with the two referees that Adam Pearce wanted Drew McIntyre to apologize to. They were with Drew McIntyre. This is where they were all smiling, shaking hands, and looked like they had some kind of agreement pointed that out tonight, but I guess I was wrong on that thing. But we did nearly saw Drew and location. But luckily, Adam Pearson, the security guards, been doing their jobs, break them up and not lay one finger. Maybe it's because of Adam Pearson's surprising announcement, like what everybody's been talking about. But I thought it was going to be next week, which I'm going to get into just right here in just a sec. But I'm going to talk about, let's see, right here. This is where we got, Lyra Valkyria came out with hilariously, what Pat McAfee's like, woo, like with the music up, woo, woo, like when she was taking on the leader of this the trios faction that she has with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark that they've been as of late, like, and it was Sonya Deville, and Sonya Deville is finally being treated like if she's a legitimate threat, like, and not like she's a glorified jobber like she was for the last few years. It seems like Triple H sees like something in the future for the former women's tag team champion. This is where like she was wrestling Lyra Valkyria like if she's either a former or current women's champion. But this is where then she just started kneeing her right to the midsection. This is where then she slammed her right in her back. She started showing more of her her mixed martial art abilities, like if she's her own version of Shayna Baszler. But this is where then she try to grab onto Lyra Valkyria, but Lyra Valkyria kicks her right in the face, picks her up, try to look like she's about to spine bust her, but she slammed her back first right into the upper left side. This is where she started kicking her, stomping her right into down there. This is where referee's like, hey, like stop, like she's down right onto the ropes, and you know what that means. This is where Lyra Valkyria like, like you don't have to tell me twice. This is where the referee's like, I'm sorry, but I have to do this, and he started counting. She stopped at 2, but it's where she stepped back, she went right front, but she nearly got ambushed by Sonya Deville's leg, but she caught it. But this is where she gets struck right to the face. She got Irish whip right to the lower right side, which that was diagonal from them. But this is where she goes for a springboard dodge. This is where we got Sonya Deville, then hits face first round to the turnbuckle. This is where then this is where we got Lyra Valkyria go for a cartwheel, but this is where Sonya Deville tried to charge at her and try to take her down, take her out and knock her down. Let me rephrase that, my apology. This is where she gets tripped right over. Lyra Valkyria went right to the right side, goes for a middle missile drop kick right onto the side of her face. She goes for a pin, but this is where we got Sonya Deville then kick out of it. This is where we got Sonya Deville my ribs, and then this is where Shayna Baszler's like, are you okay? Like, but yeah, like you got this. Like she's nothing. This is where we got Lyra Valkyria goes for a baseball sliding kick, but nearly got injured, like with her arms wrapping around onto the middle ropes. This is where we got what's her name, Sonya Deville, then grab onto her and threw her, driven her right to Barry's tombstone, right into the bottom turnbuckle. Not bottom turnbuckle, bottom the side of the barricade. This is where then she started taunting her. She's like, like this is not the old Sonya. And I was like, definitely not the old Sonya. Like, and it shows what regime we're in, obviously, even though I keep saying that every single week. Like, and anything's possible these days. It's not like when it was the former regime, like when you would say never. Unless if it's a retired wrestler, like that's coming out of retirement, that's not under another contract from another promotion. But this is where we got Sonya Deville was an offense for a little while until Lyra Valkyria got back in the game, like when they were in the upper left side. But this time we got Lyra Valkyria putting Sonya right up on the top turnbuckle. This is where she was about to go for some kind of avalanche maneuver. This is where she started some forearm strikes, elbow strikes right into the back. This is where she decided to go for the suplex of avalanches, like by echoing some words. And then this is where she caused an avalanche, like and made both her and Deville go down right onto the middle canvas. This is where she was like, my back. And then this is where she started spinning around, started tingling and stuff like that. This is where she starts spinning around, forward, back, side. This is where she started climbing. This is where then she got her knees up, and this is where we got. This is where he goes for a strike, but this is where we got Sonya Deville then blocked it on her leg. This is where she goes for a kick of her own. This is where we got Sonya Deville then went right to the right to the left side. This is where she tried to go for a knee strike, like a snapmare knee strike. But somehow, like Lyra Valkyria knew that she was gonna go for that move. She goes for a flat duck. This is where we got Lyra Valkyria go for a kip up. This is where he has a step up instakiri. This is where she knocked her down. This is where then she goes for suplex like a brainbuster, but this is where Sonya Deville wrist locked her. This is where she goes for a roundhouse kick right into the gut. This is where she kicks her right into the face to get her. And this is where she kick her right in the gut and then hit her right into the head. This is where then she also headbutts her. This is where she goes for a attic roundhouse kick right into the cheek of Sonya Deville's face. This is where she picks her up and goes for a suplex right onto the middle of the canvas. And she got a 1, she got a 2, but this is where Sonya Deville kicks out nearly at the last second at 2.7. This is where we got Lyra Valkyria picking Sonya right back up. This is where it looked like she was about to go for go for the one wing, I believe that's what's called, or no, the last wing. I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but this is where Sonya Deville flipped right out of it. This is where she flips out and went right behind her. This is where she went for this dragon suplex that looked like a wrestler that used to wrestle there that got accused of assault of a former baddest woman of the planet. Well, I don't know what this new reference is, but yeah, or let alone where this came from, I should say. But this is, thought I might just add something onto the podcast just to have you guys entertained. But this is where we got Lyra Valkyria snapmares her, flip her right over. This is where we got Lyra Valkyria then try to go for the spinning gut wrench. And this is where then she went right side to side. This is where then she tried to pick her up and try to go for a power bomb, like if she was a certain pillow wrestler. But she only got half of it, but she still went for a sit out and then slam her back first. This is where when she tried to go for a pin, however, this is where she still kicked out at 2.8 this time. This is where Lyra's like, I know this is not my finisher, but that should have been something. This is where then Lyra Valkyria then go right up on the top rope in the bottom right side. This is where we got Shayna Baszler then distracted, like typical heel stuff. And this is where we got this is where Shayna Baszler's like, you cannot let her do this. And then this is where the referee's like, what the hell you're talking about? Like, of course you can. Like, as long as she don't linger there for the next 5 seconds, like, there's nothing that for me to do about it. This is where we got Lyra Valkyria then got the flip right out of the top turnbuckle by Zoe Stark, while Shayna is distracting the ref and arguing with it. Like, this is where then we got Katana Chance and Kaden Carter did not like what they seen. They trip over Shayna, but hit her face first, right onto the apron. This is where the referee nearly saw what happened, like with Zoe Stark pushing Lyra Valkyria right off the top rope. This is where they start fighting each other 2-on-2 with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler taking out, eventually taking out Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. This is where they did a big high five. This is where we got Lyra Valkyria then go for baseball sliding kick. I think she missed Zoe Stark, but she managed to do a domino effect by kicking Shayna Baszler right into Starks. This is where we got Sonya Deville and put back that dragon sleeper maneuver, and this is where she hit the Deville's advocate, and I was like, if it did not have an E and an extra L right into the end, you would know what that would spell. Like, and then what the name of that, the name of the phrase say. But yeah, but Helper got the 1, 2, 3, and I believe this was the move that she was trying to hit, but it looked like more of a submission rather than a wrestling maneuver, like a devastating wrestling hit maneuver, like some kind of a slamming attack move of some sort. But yeah, this is where the Helper got the move, and the rules in professional wrestling. Like, if it doesn't work the first time, guaranteed second time, it got her the 1, 2, 3, and it rhymes, so it looked like she must have been doing something right. And this is where, she got the win. And I was thinking to myself, like, hopefully the rumors are true about the women's mid-card belts, because I cannot hardly wait for them to be fighting for those said titles. Like, if they're not ready for the main event division, like, at least bring out the bring out the WWE United States and Intercontinental Championship, like how they're doing with NXT, and even AEW did it before then, like a couple years ago with the TBS Championship. Man, I wonder who's currently holding that belt. But anyways, this is where we got. Yeah, let me know down in the comment section right down below, like about this win. I want to give a big congratulations to Sonya Deville, and finally we finally saw her made her in-ring return. Well, I'm not sure if she's been made her return, but yeah. This is the most recent return that I can remember since last July. But let me know down in the comments below about that. But yeah, big congratulations to her. Hopefully, we get one of these women becoming the women's Intercontinental champ, so they can start elevating more of the women's division into greater heights, and create more nostalgic work with the mid-card women's division. But this is where we got the commentators had another videotape that they got from the Wyatt Six, and it was I believe Sister Abigail, which is clearly Nikki Cross. This is where we got Uncle Howdy then put a camera right on their faces where it's like, look at yourself, and then this is where she started looking around. This is where then he starts screaming out, "Look at yourself!" And he's like they lied to you, they ignored you, and you suffered in solitude, and they did not. And he's like, and they just threw you away and just disposed you, and did not think that you were useful. But here I was, I was here to. I was your purpose or something like that. And he was like, yeah, and I made you and I healed you. I made you whole or something like that. This is where he's like, and I'm again, I am the what's it? And he's like he said, what's the term to use in this in this scenario? He said I'm I was your healer, I guess you could say, and I was your what's that? I was the guy that saw something in you, and now here you are, on your way to success and greatness and stuff like that. And this is where Nikki Cross got up right on the camera. This is where she started smiling. She started, what's that, breathing and chuckling. This is where then she screamed ah, and then I was like, wow, this is very more weird than it was with more weird than with Eric Rowan. Eric Rowan's more had a purpose, and it was more realistic, with him saying he lost two guys that were brothers to him. And that was very sad. We can all relate to him because it was too soon to lose him in this world. And it just did not make no sense. It just came out of the blue. I would expected these guys to live a bit more longer than they have. Even though Harper got a chance to live for 4 decades, and then nearly same with Bray. But what's your thoughts on them sending the commentators these VCR tapes, and who thinks gonna be next that's gonna be interviewed by Uncle Howdy? You think it's gonna be Huskus the Pig, also known as Joe Gacy, or do you think it's gonna be Mercy the Buzzard, which is also known as Dexter Loomis, that's playing that role? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. This is where we got CM Punk heading out to the ring. It was exactly how I predicted, with him making his return, and then call out Drew McIntyre. But before he did all that, is where he was introduced by what's her name, Samantha Irvin, with them what did she say? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the returning CM Punk, because he's the new Monday Night Raw Roman Reigns, I guess you could say. With him, he's gonna show up every other week, every 2 weeks to be exact. And then he goes CM Punk is returned to this place, Roman Reigns returned to that place, how they did with Roman Reigns back earlier this year and last year and the year before. And you get the point. But this is where we finally got CM Punk start high-fiving and start raising the fans higher to cheer him on. This is where it's is it about that time? He's like, and like, he said, like, is it? I give it to one more time to Green Bay, Wisconsin, like, and what he said it like it was the way he's. When fans start chanting for CM Punk, like CM Punk, CM Punk, he's like, "Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Like, is it great to be alive on the Monday night at Green Bay, Wisconsin?" That's what he said. My apologies for. And then this where it's like, and who wants to see me beat the hell out of Drew and get the and make blood come out of the Scottish psychopath? This is where the fans like, yeah, we want to see that. That will be very cool to see. This is where. And then this is where the CM Punk was like, I got some good news because I just recently went to my doctor and he gave me some excellent news and he said that I'm cleared. And I was like, yes, like this match is definitely going to be confirmed that we're going to see in the next less than 2 weeks, like actually 12 days to be exact. And this word then CM Punk's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my pound of flesh. I'm gonna give me some flesh to pound, I should say. This where he's like, so Drew McIntyre, like, come, you get this beating like that you deserve. This where then he grabbed a roll of wrist tape. This where then he just started wrapping it around his hands like if he's about to be getting ready to fight in the match. But that's probably not gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. This where fans. Like CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk, and then this is where Drew McIntyre did eventually came out, even though it took him like an extra minute. Like, and this is where I believe Drew McIntyre was trying to make the guys that play his music and Gorilla, like he was trying to tell them like, come on, like what's taking you so long? This way, like, we're trying to find the right track to play, like so we don't make a huge mistake. And he's like, that's understandable, but why don't you have that prepared? And then this is where they finally found it. They pushed it. This is where they start playing Drew McIntyre's music. This is where he came out there. This is where Drew McIntyre was on the microphone. This is where it's like I cannot tell you how long I've been waiting for this moment. Like all this time, like you scroll me over, like there's nothing more in the world that's going to stop me, like, get a jammer and tearing you apart. And then this is where then he had a big grin. This is where the CM Punk's like, oh, yeah, if you're going to do all that, try to come in the swing and do it. And this is where then Drew McIntyre's like, but I decided that I don't want to. And this is where then he nearly walked out of the arena. And this is where it's like, I'm going to wait until the next 2 weeks. And this is where CM Punk was like, oh, you're backing down now? Like, I thought this is what you want. And then this is where he dropped the microphone. This is where then it went right up on the Drew McIntyre. But luckily, they came right on time. This is where they break things up. Well, Drew McIntyre was not in a hurry to try to attack Punk, but Punk was trying to get his hands on him. This is where we got, luckily, the security guards and the referees, and Adam Pearce was there. They were stopping him from attacking Drew. And this is where then Drew McIntyre's like, yeah, see, like, and he said, this is where he said, the reason why I'm not deciding to fight you now because this match, the Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk is way too bigger for Green Bay to watch and witness this in person. This is where fans are like, you are horrible, Drew. Like, wow, how could you say that? We would love to see. This is where Drew McIntyre. And this is where it's like, look at you acting all recklessly emotional right now. And you have no reason of doing so. And look at me, I'm chilled and relaxed and calm. Like, when I'm emotional, like I tend to, I turn into family. And this is where he holds the bracelet up, provoking CM Punk even more. This is where it says his wife and his dog's name, AJ and Larry. This is where then. It's like, it's very interesting right now. And this is where CM Punk is like, I'm going to get that bracelet back, and you're going to regret doing that. And this is where Adam Pearce is like, yeah, that's enough. That is absolutely enough. Like, and this is where then Adam Pearce trying to convince him to give it back to CM Punk, that bracelet. This is where he's like, and this is where then Adam Pearce is like, hold on, Punk. Like, I'm just telling you. He's like, and this is where then and this is where Adam Pearce is like what Drew McIntyre's not, what he's not telling you right now, what the true reason why you're getting this fight. and he's not giving you the full reason why you're not fighting tonight, and you're gonna be fighting at SummerSlam. And he gave him the announcements of the reason. That's where then he said, he's like, because like Drew McIntyre is reinstated, and the suspension what's that word, like it's been has gladly been lifted or something like that. Is where then he said, and you, CM Punk, are medically cleared. Like, since y'all don't have a reason why you should not have this match, like, but it'll be at a bigger stage. Like, we're gonna have this match happening, but that's not all. Like, I've been asked for help. Like, who, like. And it is gonna be official, and that's where the fans like, yeah, like it's CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and this where. And he's like, and it's gonna be at the Cleveland Browns Stadium at SummerSlam. The Green Bay crowd was chanting the loudest they could, like, because this is the match they've been waiting for the last 6 months, like of them being in this feud, like ever since that CM Punk was trying to achieve his dream and finish his story of main event WrestleMania. Unfortunately, he never got a chance to do it, but there's always a next year, like he said at the beginning of the year. And the CM Punk's like, yeah, like you finally grant me my wish, but this is where Adam Pearce then, oh yeah, that's what the way he said. He's like, but he's also not telling you right now, like, and I'm making this clear, everybody tonight, neither one. And he's like, and if any of you boys lay a finger on these referees, because if there's any reason that y'all lay a finger on these referees, the match is off and it's canceled. Like now. And he's like, and they're going to be suspended indefinitely, and it's going to be double times I gave to Drew. He's like, but I also want to announce that I need a special guest referee on my side to make this official. And then it's where then we heard his music, and it was none other than everybody's been speculating who's going to be this particular special guest ref, and it was none other than former world heavyweight champion Seth freaking Rollins with his music stuff playing. Burn it down! And he started marching around the ring with when the fans start singing this song. This is where CM Punk was like, what the hell? And this is where Drew McIntyre's like, yeah, I should have known. And then, I was kind of a fool to not know, because we're gonna have Adam Pearce gonna do a rule like that, like nobody, like none of these guys should ever touch a referee, or else they're gonna be suspended indefinitely, and the match at SummerSlam is gonna be off. And that's where we're going to give the opportunities of Seth Rollins to be the special guest referee. And I thought, like, now I heard that the rumors that were speculating around, I thought they were going to build things up to that, like next week, like with them finally lifting off the ban off of Drew McIntyre, with CM Punk begging to do so. And this is where we can have Seth Rollins come in to convince Adam Pearce that he'll be make sure Green Bay, we got ourselves a problem with, didn't we? And then this is where fans like, sure did. And this is where Seth Rollins like, yeah, you see, Drew hates Punk and Punk hates Drew. When every time this is where when he said that, he said it looked at right at one another, and it's like, and this is where it is like, in all the chaos that you caused, like over the last year, like has scared away like anybody like from getting in between you, like. And then this was like, and I'm not a problem guy. And I was thinking to myself, like, this has to be a Tony Khan reference, because, like, why he said scared away, because remember he said he was scared for his life, but that's another story for a different video. But this is where Seth Rollins like, I am the evolution and the revolution, or no, he's the visionary, and he is the revolutionary. Like his catch, like he's like, I am the revolution, and the what he said? No, he said he's the visionary man, and he's the evolution man, and he's like, and I know a guy like that who thrives on chaos like very well, and you know who that guy is? Like, and I know a guy that met the Or he said, like, I know a guy, and I know also a guy that they'll put the two of you in y'all's places, respectively. It's where we start looking back and forth, like we're going to right side onto CM Punk and the left side of Drew. He's like, and that man is the visionary. And then when he said he was looking towards CM Punk, which he was being what's that held back by the referee, is where then. And then this was Seth Rollins in this swing right into the left side and saw Drew McIntyre. He was like, and he is a revolution and at SummerSlam. Like, he is gonna be your special guest referee, confirming it all. This is where he's like, and then his name is Seth, and then the fans finished his sentence by saying Seth freaking Rollins, and this is where both Punk and McIntyre went in their respective aprons. This is where CM Punk was like, "You cannot do this, Rollins. Like, stay out of my business. Like, this should not concern you." This is where Seth Rollins like, too bad. Like, you shouldn't have interfered in my match against Priest. Like, so I'm just doing you a favor. And then this is where then he's like, and you, Drew, like, you better not lay a hand on me or else I will do to you. I'll make sure to put both of y'all guys in check. This is where then Drew McIntyre like, you don't have to put me on anything. And then this is where he's like, what you need to do is do your job, like, since you're going to be and make sure that you allow me to get my hands on Punk. And this is where Punk is like, no, you should better let me put my hands on you, Drew. And this is where Seth Rollins started rubbing it in their face, started doing this little burn it down, whoa dance. And then this is where then we got this is where we got the Judgment Day went hanging out backstage. This is where they were trying to find Jey Uso. But before I get into that, I want to ask you guys what your thoughts on them announcing this soon enough at this coming Monday on Raw. Let me know in the comments down below. I don't remember anybody saying that this is going to be confirmed like as soon as tonight's Monday. Or as soon as tonight's Raw, I should say. Soon as tonight's Monday Night Raw. Well, I guess now I know now by watching tonight's episode. And then, yeah, let me know in the comments down below on which side Seth Rollins going to pick. Side Punk or side McIntyre? Let me know in the comment section right down below. I kind of already gave you my predictions, what could possibly happen if this ever does get confirmed, which I'm going to talk more about that on my prediction segment, like on my Go Home Show Friday Night SmackDown review, which that's like about how many, like 11 days from now. But let's move on. Let's talk about this is where then we got Carlito then said, like, all right, like he's like, you know what, like we're not gonna be finding them, but if we're gonna stick together, like we the old saying, divide and conquer. Like, how about we split up and then whoever finds like one of us contacts us, and so we can attack him. This is where he's like, okay, like that's a good idea. That's where Carlito's like, okay, like we'll just split up. Like we'll go into two groups. Like how about you Finn and you Dom go together, and me and JD go together. This is where they agreed. This is where they went. This is where the Finn Balor's like, I have a better idea with Carlito. Just Carlito, like, you know what? How about I go right here in the right, and you go down there and check. Like, and I'll meet you back here. Deal. And this is where Dominic Mysterio's like, okay, deal. And this is where once he got left alone for like at least 3 seconds, this is where he ran into Liv Morgan that was hanging out into the left side of the court. This is where Liv Morgan's like, hey, Daddy Dom. And then this is where then Dirty Dom would start acting like if nobody wasn't watching. This is where it may look like that he's like if he's in some kind of a secret affair with her, with the way he was saying like Liv, like we cannot be doing this right now. This is where Liv Morgan's like, and then this is where this is Liv Morgan's like, yeah, Rhea's been in the deep end, hasn't she? Like ever since she knew. This is where Dominic's like, what are you talking about? And this is where she shushed him like, that's okay. Like, I know how you do. Like, don't worry about last night. Like everything's gonna be taken care of. And then I was thinking like, what they did last night, like. Oh, like did they at a live event, like after the show, they were chilling at a certain hotel building, like somewhere near in the Green Bay area. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm not sure what was going on, but yeah, they probably was playing a couple of board games, watching some Netflix, and they were probably playing some Monopoly, and then I don't know what else happened. Maybe interferacking. I don't know, perhaps, but. And then this is where then Dominic Mysterio's like, yeah, I know, like, and it was absolutely perfect. This is where then we got Liv Morgan's like, yeah, that's the spirit. This is where Finn Balor's like, This is where she was like, this is where Finn Balor's like, I couldn't find him right here. And he was like, wait, what y'all doing here? And this is where then Liv Morgan's like, okay, that's my cue. Bye-bye, Dirty Dominic, acting like a female Bugs Bunny, like trying to get herself out of a situation and out of trouble, like before she gets caught. That's where then Finn Balor's like, what was that all about? And this is where, and then this is where, and this, and he's like, and this is where then and Finn Balor's like, I couldn't leave you alone for 10 seconds. And this is where then Dirty Dominic tried to change the subject. This is where he's like, did you found it? This is where Finn Balor's like, this is where he started breathing in, like I already told you that I couldn't find him, but you wouldn't listen. This is where Dirty Dominic's like, and this is where Dirty Dominic's like, you know what? I'm going back down here. This is where Finn Balor's like, no. And that's where Liv's going. Like, unless you're telling me something that you're telling me something that I telling me, always like, unless you're telling me something that I don't know about. This is where we got Finn. This is where Dominic Mysterio then continued to deny it. This is where then he left and went right onto the top corner side of the hallway. This is where we got. This is where then we got a 6-man tag match. This was pretty decent, but Karrion Kross looked like he was copying off somebody, like somebody that wears mask, perhaps colorful mask. And yeah, because the way he has his hair, he has it tied up in a ponytail, like in the back with still hair right going down onto the back of his neck, and then one going up right in the front on his forehead. If I wasn't making this reference obvious enough, I don't know what else to tell you, especially with a clean cutted shave. Like that makes it too obvious. And some of y'all probably would say that he resembles somebody that y'all might know. Perhaps he does a YouTube podcast show. I'm not sure what's the name of this guy, but some might say that he looks like a tuxedo mask Bob Marley wannabe. But anyways, yeah, that's another story for another day. But yeah, this is where we got Xavier Woods taking on Xavier Woods and Akira Tozawa and Otis of the former Alpha Academy boys came out to help out Xavier Woods. This is where they are getting ready for their match against what's his name, the Karrion Kross and the Authors of Pain of the Final Testament. But yeah. This tonight's Monday Night Raw was definitely planting some seeds of potential potential turns and what's that, turns and changes and stuff like that. I guess you could say like some twists and turns, and what's the other term to use? And very interesting out of the blue moments, but. This is where we got the Judgment Day finally found Jey Uso. But before we can even before we saw that, this is where we saw what's her name? Was it Kathy Kelly or was it Jackie Redmond? Either one of them. It was they were interviewing Sami Zayn. And this is where she started asking questions about Braun Breaker being the number one